If you think modern SUVs have gone soft, the 2026 Toyota Land Cruiser 70 Series is the cure. This is the Land Cruiser that never really left the worksite, the mine road, and the outback track. While other models went luxury, the 70 Series stayed what it has always been, a heavy-duty tool built to survive where breakdowns are not an option. Toyota has already updated the 70 Series with new engines and safety tech, so by 2026 you can think of it as that same refreshed truck, refined just enough but still proudly old school. From the outside, it looks exactly how a real 4x4 should. Tall, square and simple, with that upright grille, roundish headlights, and a bonnet that might as well be a steel table. Flat body panels, exposed hinges, big mirrors, and steel or chunky alloy wheels tell you this design started with function, not a wind tunnel. Depending on the body style you pick, single cab, double cab pickup, wagon, or troop carrier, the 70 Series can be a bare-bones work ute, a tough family tourer, or a long-range expedition rig. High ground clearance, short overhangs, solid side steps, and a rear bumper that can actually take a hit all back up the look. It is a vehicle that seems right at home covered in red dust or parked outside a cattle station. Inside the LC70, it is honest and straightforward. The dash is upright, the plastics are hard-wearing, and the controls are big enough to use with gloves on. Recent updates have brought in a proper touchscreen with Apple CarPlay and Android Auto in markets like Australia, plus a basic but effective digital display for driver info. You still get big rotary knobs for climate and simple rocker switches for diff locks and 4WD. It is not a luxury cabin, but it is much more livable than the old bear cabin from years ago. Seats are firm and supportive enough for long days on bad roads. In the wagon and troopy, there is space for people and gear. And in the single and double cab pickups, you get that huge tray out back ready for canopies, toolboxes, campers, or whatever your work or trip demands. The flat interior surfaces also make it easy to mount radios, navigation units, and all the extra gear remote travelers like to run. Under the bonnet, the 2026 70 Series continues with the newer 2.8-liter four-cylinder turbo diesel in many markets, paired with a 6-speed automatic. It is not about big numbers on paper, but about usable torque, reliability, and fuel range. In some regions, the legendary 4.5-liter V8 turbo diesel will still be around, especially in work-spec models, backed by a 5-speed manual. Both options are known for pulling heavy loads and shrugging off abuse, which is why you see these trucks in mines, on farms, and in remote fleets all over the world. The chassis is a proper ladder frame with live axles front and rear. You get coil springs up front and leaf springs out back for load carrying. Full-time or part-time four-wheel drive depending on market, a 2-speed transfer case with low range and available differential locks mean this thing does not pretend to be capable. It is. Approach and departure angles are serious. The underbody is tough and simple, and the aftermarket support for bar work, winches, suspension, long-range tanks, and campers is massive. On the road, you have to remember what you are driving. The 70 Series feels like a truck because it is one. The steering is heavier than a modern crossover. The ride is firm when empty, and the cabin is louder at highway speed than a luxury SUV. Load it up though, get it on rough country roads or trails, and it starts to make sense. It feels planted, predictable, and unbothered by conditions that would have soft rotors slowing to a crawl. Pricing varies a lot by country and spec, but in places like Australia, you are looking at the equivalent of a serious investment. Think roughly from the high 70,000s to well over 100,000 Australian dollars on road for higher spec wagons and double cabs, before you even start bolting on accessories. That sounds steep until you remember these things, often stay in service for decades. The 2026 Toyota Land Cruiser 70 Series is not for people who want soft leather and wireless chargers in every seat. It is for people who need a vehicle to get them into remote places and back out again year after year. Miners, farmers, outback tour operators, overlanders, and anyone who values durability over fashion. If you enjoyed this look at the 2026 Land Cruiser 70 Series, do not forget to like the video, subscribe to Grain Cars, and tell us in the comments how you would build one. Workhorse ute, long-range touring rig, or the toughest family 4x4 on the block? Thanks for watching. Drive safe, stay prepared, and we will see you in the next one.